Welcome back to Larry's Library if you've been here before, and welcome here if you're new. We are doing another Top 10 Tuesday, and this time around, I'm going to go through my top 10 favorite reads of 2026 so far. We're about at the halfway point, so I thought it was time to do that up. Let's get started. According to my stats, and yes, I do keep track, I am well on my way to meet my goals for this year. I originally had set it at 165 reads, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I put it in a previous video, but I'm at about I'm at 86 now. 86 books read so far, and I do count all titles as books. So if it's a single issue or a novel or something in between, it still counts. But by the same token, if I'm talking about an omnibus that reprints 35 issues, I'm still only counting that as one book. So that cuts both ways. So at number 10, I have Huge Detective Trade Paperback Volume 1. This one was a surprise. Kind of came out of nowhere. Knew nothing about it. This was among a big box of gifted graphic novels I got from Jewish Dragons. That's his handle here on YouTube. And it was just filled with treasure. And this is one of them. Really, really love this book. This is written by Adam Hughes with art by Magenta King. I wasn't familiar with either one of these folks, but it's fantastic. This cover here is by Diego Yopper, I believe is the pronunciation. Love that cover. Love this story. Like I said, this was a total surprise. I'll give you a little bit of the gist of it, but I don't want to give too much away because I'd rather you go in blind like I did. But in this story, it takes place in modern times, but it's in a world where giants have awakened. Real giants exist, and all of the modern nations have to learn how to deal with that. And so regular humanity has an uneasy alliance with these giants, but sometimes crimes happen that cross over between the various nations, including the giant nation. And so here we have an FBI agent has to team up with a giant detective, that is, a detective from the world of giants, to work this case. And it's brilliant. Really, really fun premise. Love this book. Oh, incidentally, my copy, the inside is signed by Adam Rose, the writer. Again, thanks to Jewish Dragons. At number 9, I have Echo, the Complete Edition. Now, this is a very, very thick trade paperback that has all 30 issues of this sort of legendary series by Terry Moore. Writing, art, everything is Terry Moore here. And if you've never read any Terry Moore, I encourage you to jump in. He is fantastic. And this was a gift from my daughter, Kristen, and I thoroughly loved it. Not even going to give you a plot outline here. Just check it out. Now, at number 8, I have Umbrella Academy Library Edition number 3. I had read the original Umbrella Academy miniseries back when it came out many, many years ago, long before the Netflix series, and I really loved it then, but I kind of fell off on those, and they got away from me. I was buying them in the big library editions. I had sold my singles off, like I did a lot of my singles, as you know, if you've watched the channel very long. Finally, started getting the missing ones, and like I said, this is library edition volume 3. This one's called Hotel Oblivion. Again, written by Gerard Way. That Gerard Way, that's right, and art by Gabriel Ba. Love it. This is all 7 issues of the miniseries, and it was quite spectacular. That's why it's number 8. At number 7, I have another trade paperback. This is We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. And this was written by Matthew Rosenberg with art by Stefano Landini. And this collects all 6 issues of the miniseries. As far as I know, this is all we're going to get from this universe. I mean, there's some rumors that there may be more, but this did end the story in a spectacular way. I'm using that word a lot in this one, but this is a spectacular top 10. Had a lot of fun reading this year, and this was no small part of that. And that's why it's number 7. At number 6, I've got Saucer County, the completed edition trade paperback. This is one of those examples you can cite where something very much deserved an oversized hardcover treatment, and it just didn't get it, and it's not going to get it. So I had to get a big, thick trade to finish this one up. I originally had a slim trade paperback of the first miniseries of this. I think it was a gift from Kristen, my daughter, and it was fantastic. And then I got the second trade paperback that continued it some more. Loved that. And then it was sort of abandoned. I guess it didn't sell enough to collect the rest of it or even finish it. There was still some dangling plot lines that never got resolved. And it looked like one of those abandoned series, one of those things that was great to me and some other people and not enough of the masses, so it was never going to get resolved. But then, finally, they were able to finish it. And they put it out in this big, thick trade paperback. And they cleverly called it Saucer Country, the Complete Ed Edition. And this is written by Paul Cornell. The art is primarily by Ryan Kelly. Brilliant art it is. There's a few other artists sprinkled in there, but it's mostly Ryan Kelly. And this cover here is by Ryan Kelly. And this is... I don't even want to give it away again, but it's what you think it is by looking at it, okay? But it is chock full of political satire and some thrilling subterfuge and conspiracy theories. And are the aliens real? Are they not real? Are they fairies? Are they something else? I mean, a lot of things are explored through this one, and it's just, it's fantastic. It really is. What a fun ride. And a lot deeper than it looks. A lot more than surface deep this one is. Really loved it a lot. And I think if you're into any of those themes, you're going to love it too. And again, great art, great writing. Order this one if you haven't read it. It's really good. And that's why it's number 6. My top 10 favorite reads of 2026 so far. Now, I say so far, of course, because we're only halfway through the year. So sometimes it's fun to do these halfway through and then compare and contrast to what I end up with when I do my final early next year to sum up 2026. So look for that. Now, right in the middle, smack dab at number 5, I've got 5 Gears in Reverse. This is the latest in Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' Criminal series. They're still cranking them out, and I'm still gobbling them up. They are fantastic. This is more from that pulp world of crime and bad people and even worse villains. The hero is not necessarily a hero until you compare him to some of the terrible dregs of humanity that are around him, okay? And it is really fun. And this one goes from 0 to 120 and just doesn't stop till the end. It was really good. Really enjoyed this. They still got it. If you're not familiar with this team, what are you waiting for? Jump in. Start reading Criminal. It's great, great stuff. And these can be read in any order you want. It does help if you have already read some of it. You'll be somewhat familiar with the characters, but you can definitely dip in. One book is not dependent on the other. So this could be your first Criminal book, and you'll still love it. I promise. And number 4, I got something a little bit different here. I'm mixing prose in the list. I do that every now and then. This is Caliban's War. This is the Expanse series, book 2 of that, written by James S.A. Corey. You may be familiar with the TV show. I think it started on Netflix. Was it Netflix? I don't know. It hopped around. It eventually ended on Amazon Prime. But yeah, this is great stuff. I've only seen the first season and a half or so of the TV show. But I started reading the novels, and I cannot stop. There's 8 or 9 of these things, and I'm now halfway through that list, and I am still loving it. This is some high-concept sci-fi, lots of space battles, just wild, wild stuff. Fantastic host of characters you get to know as you go along. Just love this. Can't get enough of the Expanse novel series. And this is number 2, like I said, Caliban's War. Loved it. So that's why I got it at number 4. Now, last year when I did my final top 10 for the year, I guess rather this year than I did for last year, if that makes sense. I ended up doing a prose top 10 and a comic book top 10. I did 2 different lists in one video. Now, I don't know if we'll be able to do that this year because mainly I've been reading The Expanse. So I don't know if I've read enough prose to have anything in there except for Expanse, 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 is one after the other. So we'll see how that works out. But right now, this is number 4 in my top 10 favorite reads. Now at number 3, I have another book from that same series. This is Nemesis Games. This is the Expanse series. This is the 5th volume. Really, really loved it. Again, I'm not going to go into the plot here. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to have a spoiler because, man, this series rocks so hard. It really does. Love it, love it, love it. Can't get enough. It was hard for me to choose which ones I was going to include. But I definitely love some of those books more than I love others. But they're all good. They're all really good. But so far, I think these are my 2 standouts. And I think I'm on book 6 now in my current reads. So we'll see how that one ranks. But right now I'm saying the 2nd volume and the 5th volume are my favorites of the series so far. And I'm loving it. Now at number 2 in my top 10 favorite reads of 2026 so far, I have Mouse Guard, The Black Axe. Now this is volume 3 of the Mouse Guard hardcover collections. And this is, if you're not familiar, the story and art on these are by David Peterson. And these are really, really spectacular. There's the word. The word for this list is spectacular. And, you know, David Peterson's art, I'm sure you've seen it if you haven't read these books. You've probably seen shots of it around the web. If you haven't, go check it out. Just Google Mouse Guard by David Peterson, and you'll get a treat for the eyes for sure. This is fantastic. This is a world where it's basically medieval period and technology, but there don't seem to be any humans. Instead, you have anthropomorphic mice, and they wield swords and axes and all of that. They ride mounts, which I won't tell you what those mounts are because that's a treat in and of itself when you find out. But so far, I've not seen any humans, and I'm most of the way through the saga now. But I think that, in my opinion, the saga hit its stride at Volume 3 with this Black Axe storyline. Really, really loved it. I love it all, so it was hard to pick just one, but the Black Axe stories really stuck out for me as being just super enjoyable. Yeah, I kept hearing about Mouse Guard for years and years, and watching various reviews on YouTube, and everybody seemed to love it, and I just never picked them up. And recently, my daughter Kristen gifted me the whole set, and I'm like, okay, I'm reading this. Picked up the first one and just kept going, could not stop. Like I said, this Volume 3, I think, is the highlight so far for me. But I am loving the whole series. So much so that it made the number 2 slot so far. Now, will it hold all the way to the end of this year? We'll see. But so far, this is number 2. Well, what's number 1? My favorite reads of 2026 so far. Well, it's something from a while back. This is Black Magic Deluxe Hardcover Volume 1. Now, this was out of print and out of stock everywhere for a long, long time. And my buddy Marcelo Ramos, he tipped me off that these were back in stock at In-Stock Trades. And I finally got to order me a copy. And I think it's still in stock, maybe. I did read it the other day. And man, it held up as good as I remember it in my head. My daughter Kristen had gifted me the first trade paperback, which was the first 6 issues of this series. And I loved it so much. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy the deluxe. Surely there must be a deluxe of something this good. And there was, and it was long out of print. So I wasn't getting that. For a long time, I didn't get to read it. This is written by Greg Rucka. Art by the fabulous Nicola Scott. Her art is just breathtaking. It's so detailed, so realistic. If you haven't seen it, just check it out. You're going to love this. This is the story of a witch, a modern-day witch who also happens to be a homicide detective. So that's a really cool angle, and I loved it. This was perfect material for Greg Rucka. If you're familiar with his crime stuff or his pulp stuff or his superhero or sci-fi, he's done a lot. He can do anything, and this is perfect for him. Perfect material. And with this incredibly detailed, gorgeous artwork, it's just, it's perfect. It really is. Love this so much. And this is a great example of a book that did deserve the oversized hardcover treatment, and it got it. Thank goodness. Rumors are that that team, Greg Rucka and Nicole Scott, are still working on this project. It's creator-owned, so they can take it wherever they want. I'm hearing that they are still working on finishing this up. I think they've drawn up to like issue 16, but there's only been the one giant hardcover so far. And this one collects the first 11 issues of this series that started back in 2015. So I'm hoping we'll get another volume. There are 3 trade paperbacks. And so if I wanted to pick up that third trade, and of course they're standard size, it has the next 4 or 5 issues of this in there. So I could read a little more. But I'm holding out. I'm holding out for another big, beautiful hardcover like this one. So, in fact, let me show you. Yeah, I'm holding out for another big, beautiful one like this. I mean, it's just, what can I say? Let me show you a little bit of this fabulous art if I can. And you can see how gorgeously detailed it is. I mean, look at that. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up or if it's too much glare, these glossy pages, but the artwork is fantastic. I mean, look at that. It's like an ink wash technique used here. I think that's what they call it. But I call it beautiful, is what I call it. And yeah. So please, Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott, finish this up. Come on. And give us another beautiful volume like this. I'll read it and cherish it. So that is why that is my #1 favorite read of 2026 so far. Feel free to comment down in the comments and let me know what your favorites are so far and if any of these made your list or what did. Always anxious to read that stuff. Happy to hear it. And I'm happy to have you as a subscriber. If you haven't already yet, do hit subscribe. And I will catch you next time.